Hey guys, Jay Avery here, and today I'm going to do something that's a little niche and a little off the beaten path. Just to give you an idea of my setup that I produce these videos with, I am using a UAD Apollo Twin interface. I'm using Studio One 7 Pro, and I'm using OBS Studio to do my screen recordings. In the past, I've had no problem routing all of my audio to where I can get my microphone to work, I can get my instruments to work, I can get the audio coming out of the DAW, no problem. But the one thing that I have run into a ton of issues with is getting my click track to be audible so you can hear it. And you might notice if you've watched some of my videos in the past, I'll refer to, I'm going to go to the click track now, or let me enable the click track. And then you, as the end user watching my video, hear absolutely nothing because I didn't have it routed at all. This is surprisingly difficult with the setup that I have, and I couldn't believe how I could not find anything out in the world, out on the internet, that really helped me through this. Now, this might not be an issue for you guys. I'm sure everybody has a different solution, but this is what worked for me. So I'm going to jump over to OBS. You're going to see that I've got 3 source tracks here. Clearly, you can see my microphone. That's working just fine. I've got application audio, which if we go back to Studio One here, I've got a UAD Polysynth loaded. And if I play that, it's picking that up just fine. That's great. Now I also have a click track on there. So if I go back to Studio One and I have my click enabled, now you should be able to hear that. You'll see that I'm getting a reading on that. This was really crazy difficult to figure out how to make this work. So let me show you what I did. Basically, in Studio One, your click track is routed through your main left and right output, but for some reason, OBS is not picking that up. So what I did with the UAD Apollo Twin is when I opened my mixer or my console here in Studio One, I went to Input Outputs. You'll see that you've got 2 tabs up here, Input, Output. Go to Outputs. Now, most of you by default are just going to have one item here that says main, and it's going to be left and right, or your monitor left, monitor right. Now, what I did is I added a mono track there, or a mono instance, and then I selected Virtual One on the UAD, the Apollo, the Thunderbolt. And this is a pretty cool tool with this UAD Apollo Twin because it gives you these virtual channels, and I'm going to show you how this worked for me and turned out to be a pretty nifty little feature. So that was the first thing I did. Once I did that, I clicked OK. Now, over here on the left side of your console in Studio One, you're going to see this little bar with an arrow that points to the right. That's Show Outputs. You're going to see if I click that, this appears. Now, when you're doing this by default, a lot of times it looks like that, and you have to come over here and click that little gray handle and drag that out. Now, standard, typically you're going to see when you only have the one output there, the monitor left and right, your click track is going to be enabled on that main left and right, excuse me. What you want to do is click off of that, click onto your Virtual One output that you just created in your input outputs, and now you're going to be able to hear the click. But more importantly, you're going to go over here to OBS, and when you're going to create a new source, you're going to go to your ASIO input capture, and you're going to go to Properties, and you're going to choose your device, which in my case is the Universal Audio Thunderbolt. Mono is fine for a click track. This is where the magic happens. And especially using the Apollo Twin, I can now choose the Virtual One output that I just created in the UAD settings, the application there. So when I do that, now I've got that virtual channel being routed to this OBS click source. And so that, when I go back over to Studio One, press spacebar, go back here, you'll see that I'm getting that click, and it's coming through there independently from my instruments and from my microphone. So if I go back over here, stop that, yeah, you can see that that all now is recording independently on there and gets me the effect that I'm looking for, where you guys can actually hear the click and know that I am playing to something on there. So I know, like I said, that there's a million workarounds for these things, and who knows if this is the right or wrong way to do this, but this is the way that I did it, and this worked out great for me. One important thing that I wanted to tell you here is I am using Reastream. This isn't a tutorial on how to do that. I also have an ASIO driver that you have to download that actually has some other videos that you can find out there and some implications as to how OBS communicates with the Apollo Twin. There are some hangups that come with that as well, but that's for another time and another place, and there's a lot of videos that have been made out there about that. This was to specifically address the problem that I was having with this stupid click track. So in honor of making this work, we're going to just play out with a little bit of click. Thank you guys so much, as always, for watching. If you're new here, make sure you like and subscribe. And until next time.